Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today I'm playing along with Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life and her 30 Days with Sketches. And you saw the sketch come up, and it is going to pop up here on the screen in just a sec. The sketch that we're playing with has lots of triangles. I'm going to use a few triangles on my layout, but I'm not going to recreate those three larger ones that are behind the photos. The first thing that I am doing for my background, however, is I'm taking this white piece of cardstock and I'm just adding some Distress Oxide ink to the background. So basically I'm just using some evergreen bough, and I thought about using this sapphire color, but I end up not going with this color. So I put it where I knew my photos were going to go, so you won't actually see that color. But I just wanted to add some color to my background so it wasn't just a plain white cardstock. And once I put down just some color with the blender brush, I did just add a few splatters of Distress Stain in the same evergreen bough color. And now I'm just going to set that off to the side to dry, and that's going to be basically my background, which you'll see a good portion of that background because I don't cover a lot of it up other than where my photos go and the few triangles. Now those triangles that you see are sort of stitched down the side of the page. I do have those. I've already pre-cut those with my triangle die through my Big Shot. I did that off camera, and so I do have those triangles. And basically my plan for this one is I am going to turn the layout so that the triangles are actually across the top and they're pointing from left to right. So you'll see that here as we go, but before I get to putting the triangles down, I am going to work on matting all of my photos, and I am using 3 different photos for this one. So I don't have 4, but I have 3. They are a larger size than what is in the sketch, so 3 was about all that I would put on a single page. And now, because my background is still drying, I am going to take, and off to the side I've just picked out different embellishment pieces that fit the colors that I was going for, which were, I was keeping toward this teal blue color and yellow as my 2 main embellishment colors, and that is mostly because the floral paper that I'm using, those are 2 of the colors of the florals in that paper, and so I pulled my color, what color I was going to use from those papers. So I'm just building up my clusters, and there's not a whole lot of embellishment clusters on this page, so I'm making 3 embellishment clusters myself. And they're all just basically going to go, like you see there, around my photos, so it really brings your eye into the photos. And so now that I kind of have the base of my page and how I want my photos and clusters to go, my background is dry, and so I'm going to bring in my background now and lay out these triangles. Now I don't have them all touch like they are in the sketch where the tips are touching each of the triangles in front. I do leave a bit of a gap, but I am going to go ahead and stitch these down, which I end up hand stitching, just doing a back stitch to stitch these triangles down. So I'm only putting a little bit of adhesive on the back because I'm basically going to sew them down anyway. And it's really funny because I pull out this ruler and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to make these straight. Even with the ruler, they're still not straight. And when I stitch, my stitching isn't even straight, but because of how the layout turns out, you don't actually notice that. But yeah, if you were to really, really look at the layout, you would see that none of it is straight, but I'm okay with that because basically nothing that I put together is usually ever actually straight. So needless to say, this is where I'm bringing in, I have my Tim Holtz ruler, which has little holes that will allow you to get what should be a straight line for stitching. And you would think, because I'm using this, that it would be straight, but it's not. And that's fine. So I'm just going to use the little holes to kind of put the stitch lines through these triangles, and then I will start the stitching on camera, and then I will finish it off camera, and when I come back you will kind of see that I've glued all of the things that you've already seen me build outside of my background before it was dried. You'll see those all stuck down, and I'm doing just a straight back stitch, so it's, you know, the simplest of any stitch that you can do. So I did not show a ton of it on camera because I think most people know how to do that. I am just trying to find my thread here, and I'm just using some embroidery floss. Ooh, I can't talk. In a teal color, and I just start it here, and I go back and forth, and then I do just stick it down with a little piece of washi tape so that it doesn't come undone. And then I'm just going to continue, and I do apologize, I didn't realize that I wasn't really on camera for most of this. But you see there, I'm just going to do a straight back stitch, and I finished that off camera, glued all those embellishments and the clusters all down. And now that I have that, this layout's pretty much going to be complete once I've added my title here. And so my title is Play All the Games, and I'm going to put that right across those triangles. So because I do that, you can't even tell that the line isn't actually straight, which works out perfectly. So it doesn't, if I had left it plain, I think you would have noticed how much they weren't straight. Once I glued that down, guys, that was it for this layout. So I will have in the description box everyone who's playing along with 30 Days of Sketches. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.